That was my fault. I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
Now, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children.
My daughter ripped up the motherfucking couches in the house to be able to be with me right now. Y'all don't know what's going on, for real. Where y'all TikToking and all that, y'all put up with all that.
Look at my daughter, full makeup, singing She's in Love with an emo girl on TikTok, and I didn't have no say, no approval. Hey, what do you think? Do you think this would be cool or not? You know what I mean? And I'm the one that made them cool.
You know what's funny? When we did the album, when we did the song with Christian, that everybody was like, not everybody, but Kim was like, oh, North can't be on that song. I felt like when my daughter came in, she brought that little Kim energy. The way she like just came in, and that bop on that beat is crazy.
Yep.
And just the music that we doing, we got to finish that album up. It's like,
let's go finish it.
From the moment Kanye sat in that dark studio, the world went silent. No beats, no flashing lights, just him, a man behind a mask, whispering words that no one expected. I didn't want to have children with this person. 8 words that shattered a decade-long fantasy. For years, they were the dream. Kim and Kanye, fashion royalty, music and glamour blended into a living brand. They built an empire together, one built on beauty, chaos, and control. But when he said those words, the empire cracked. Was it truth or was it revenge? Maybe both. This wasn't just a confession, it was a detonation. A man who once called Kim his muse now called her a mistake. And when Kanye speaks, the world listens. Not out of curiosity, but because they never know what he'll burn next. Let's rewind. 2012, they start dating. 2014, the wedding of the decade. 4 kids, a house in Calabasas that looked more like a museum than a home. They became more than a couple. They became a brand. Kimye wasn't love. It was legacy. Every photo, every outfit, every moment, curated for the public eye. But behind the filters, cracks were forming. Control, ego, fame, religion, 4 pillars that couldn't hold the same roof. And then came the spiral. One day it was Twitter rants. Next day, brand collapses. Then politics, then silence. People started asking, was Kanye unraveling, or was he finally revealing the man behind the mask? Because when a genius starts confessing, it's never simple. It's theater. It's pain. It's both. That's why his new confession hit harder than any lyric or post. I didn't want to have children with her. Not we weren't meant to be. Not we drifted apart. But a flat, cold rejection of everything they built together. The kids, the songs, the empire, all of it. Rewritten as a mistake. And yet, he said, that wasn't God's plan, almost as if he wanted forgiveness and fire in the same breath. To understand why that line broke the internet, you have to understand Kimye. They weren't just a couple, they were a mirror. He gave her credibility. She gave him visibility. Together, they sold a fantasy where love was as marketable as sneakers. Kanye wasn't just her husband, he was her headline. And Kim wasn't just his wife, she was his billboard. They fed each other's fame like oxygen, until one stopped breathing. When the marriage began to crumble, people picked sides. Team Ye or Team Kim. Visionary or manipulator. Victim or villain. But what Kanye said this time cut deeper. It wasn't just gossip, it was generational. A father saying he wished his children didn't exist. North, Saint, Chicago, Psalm, turned into symbols instead of souls. You could feel the internet hold its breath. Some said it was pain, some said it was punishment, others said it was strategy. Because here's the thing, Kanye's confessions always come with timing. He speaks when he's losing control. He speaks when Kim gains ground. He speaks when silence would hurt him more. And right now, silence isn't his friend. After the divorce, Kim got primary custody, $200,000 a month in support, joint decision-making, at least on paper. But insiders say that may change. Kim might be pushing for full custody. Why? Because of statements like this. Because when a father says, I never wanted them, that's not just emotional damage. That's legal ammunition. Especially when those kids are already part of songs, brands, and social media posts. Remember when North's vocals appeared in one of Kanye's tracks? Kim said she never approved it. That's not just a disagreement, that's a courtroom argument. Still, Ye doesn't back down. He never does. Every time the world calls him canceled, he calls it divine. He says God speaks through him. That every mistake was destiny. But destiny doesn't pay lawyers, and faith doesn't rebuild a family. Then there's the imagery. In that interview with DJ Academics, Kanye didn't just talk. He performed. A black hood, a dark robe, no eye contact. Every frame screamed symbolism. Some compared it to a monk, Others saw something darker. Either way, it was intentional. He wasn't just confessing, he was preaching. And the sermon was this: a black man claiming he lost control of his black children to a white woman. A family turned into property. A legacy turned into leverage. The line between love and resentment, gone. Meanwhile, Kim stayed quiet. That's her strategy. Silence that hurts louder than shouting. On the Kardashians, she doesn't say much about Ye, but when she does, it cuts. "You can't ever get that person back," she said, eyes heavy, voice soft. No anger, just exhaustion. The kind of tone you use when you've cried too long to keep count. But don't mistake quiet for weak. Kim knows how the game works. She's been building empires from scandals since 2007. She knows timing. She knows control. While Ye burns bridges, she builds narratives. Now, public sympathy leans her way. Every time Kanye rants, she posts family photos. Every time he curses the past, she blesses the future. She's winning the PR war without saying a word. And yet, they're still bound. No matter what he says, he can't erase her. No matter how far she moves, his name drags behind her posts. They're cosmic opposites trapped in the same orbit. Every move one makes, the other reflects. He rants, she rebuilds. He destroys, she designs. He speaks chaos, she sells calm. It's a pattern. Love, rage, regret, repeat. So what's really behind his confession? Is it honesty? Is it control? Is it pain disguised as punishment? Maybe it's all three. Maybe Kanye's greatest addiction isn't fame or love. It's destruction. Every empire he builds, he sets on fire. Yeezy, Adidas, presidential runs, Kim Ye, all gone. And when the flames die down, he looks around for a new spark. The truth is, Kanye's been rewriting his story for years. Each version contradicts the last. One day, he's the best father alive. Next day, fatherhood was a mistake. One day, he's God's messenger. Next day, he's God's victim. The Gospel of Ye changes with the headlines. But that's why people keep watching. Because under all the chaos, there's still a man trying to make sense of himself. A man drowning in contradictions. A man who can't tell if his truth is healing him or haunting him. And Kim, she's learned to turn pain into PR. Every tear becomes a brand deal. Every heartbreak becomes an episode. Every silence becomes strategy. To her followers, she's the calm after the storm. To Kanye, she is the storm. But here's what no one admits out loud. They still need each other. Not as lovers, not as parents, as reflections. Because without Kim, Kanye's chaos has no direction. Without Kanye, Kim's story has no villain. Together, they built a myth too big to escape. Now they're living inside it. So when Kanye says, "I never wanted kids," maybe it's not about his children. Maybe it's about his regret. Not for fatherhood, but for losing control. Because those kids are half Kim, half Ye. Half light, half shadow, half empire, half chaos. And every time he looks at them, he sees what he lost and what he can't destroy. Fans are split. Some call it honesty. Others call it cruelty. One viral comment summed it up. That's not confession. That's emotional warfare. And maybe that's the truth. Every word you speak hits like shrapnel. It cuts everyone. Kim, the kids, the fans, himself. He calls it freedom. The world calls it fallout. Still, behind all the noise, one haunting truth remains. He loved her once. Deeply, fiercely, publicly. Every song, every post, every smile once said it. Bound to only one. Even runaway. All love letters turned obituaries. So when he says he never loved her, he's not erasing the past. He's begging for it to disappear. Maybe this isn't confession. Maybe it's exhaustion. A man tired of carrying his own contradictions. A woman tired of being his headline. And 4 children growing up between 2 versions of the same story. That's the real tragedy. Not fame, not money, not even betrayal. But the simple truth that love, real love, can't survive when the spotlight never turns off. Kanye says he's telling his truth. Maybe he is. Or maybe this is just another performance. Because with Yeah, you never know where the act ends and the man begins. One thing's certain. This isn't the end. It's just the next chapter in a story that refuses to die. A story about love, legacy, and a confession that burned everything down. So what do you think? Was this Kanye's truth? Or just another performance? Let me know in the comments. Because this story isn't over.
What's your favorite style right now?
I like very like streetwear and like 90s, Tyler the Creator, my dad, me.
What do you do if one of your siblings is annoying you?
If they do something bad, like I'll be like, but if they're annoying me, I'll just be like, yo, get out my room. I'm not gonna do this, for real.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
Lesson you'll never forget.
To trust God only. Don't trust nobody else except God because y'all only trust Him.